This is question 11, part C, from the 2023 Higher Engineering Science paper. And in this bit, we're continuing with the structures theme, and we've got a design for the frame used to support the boom shown. Now, we've been talking in 11 about this tow truck, and now we are given this point here where we are told that N1, that node, is in static equilibrium. So that means that it's still, and all the forces on it are going to be balanced. We're told that F1 is a strut and that F2 is a tie. And hopefully what that means is you understand that that means the forces inside F1 and F2 are going to be acting in different directions. So because F1 is a strut, the internal forces are going to be acting towards the node N1. And because F2 is a tie, the internal forces are going to be acting away from that node. So when you've got information like that, I think it's helpful to draw that diagram, or to edit your diagram. And sometimes in longer questions, the SQA will give you a point, so they might give you that point with those 3 lines, and then you can use that. I would always recommend adding arrowheads so you know which direction those forces are going. Now, for part C, so part I, we're asked to write, in its simplest form, the equation for the vertical forces acting on node 1, N1, including all the forces and their angles. So, looking at this, we are going to be getting one term that includes this 15 kilonewton force, one term that includes F1, and one term that includes F2. So make sure you include all of those when you're doing this, and basically you're resolving vertically. So you know that the sum of all our forces vertically is going to be equal to 0 because of equilibrium. Now if we look at our forces, I would say the sum of our forces going up is equal to the sum of our forces coming down. So looking at our forces going up, based on the arrowheads that I've put on, F1 is going up, so it's going to be the vertical component of F1, and that is going to be equal to the vertical component of the 15 kilonewton force added to the vertical component of the F2 force. And this is the bit where some students get a little bit stuck because they're not super clear about how to use Pythagoras and SOHCAHTOA to work this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a lot more drawing on this particular diagram, and then from there hopefully that will help you to work out which are your vertical and which are your horizontal forces. Now if I look at the 15 kilonewton force, I have got a portion of that force acting down the way vertically. If I look at my F2 force, I've got a portion of that acting down the way vertically, and for my F1 force, I've got a portion of that acting up the way vertically. Now, if I look in terms of the horizontal forces, I've got a portion of my the 15 kilonewton force acting horizontally. I've got a portion of my F2 force acting horizontally, and I've got a portion of my F1 force acting horizontally there. It might be helpful for some of you to change that so that the F1 force is shown here. The only reason I didn't do that initially is to not confuse you too much with the red arrows being so close. Now the reason this can help is it can help you to understand what which bit of trigonometry to use for finding these. And if you're not sure, you can always write out onto your exam paper SOHCAHTOA, which helps us to work out whether we're using sine, cos or tan. Now in all the cases for our red arrows, we are looking at the angle and the and we know the hypotenuse, or not, sorry, like F2 we're trying to find the hypotenuse, but the red line is the opposite from the angle. And for the blue lines, the horizontal, we can see that we've got our hypotenuse, or that's what we're trying to find, and the blue lines are adjacent. So we'll be using cos for a horizontal one. That is a breakdown of that very quickly. If you don't understand that, I would say that this is the most important thing for you to revise so that you can attempt these questions nice and easily and very straightforwardly. So then if I look now at what I've written in the box, if I want my vertical component of f1, I am going to say that that is going to be f1 times sine 45. My vertical component of my 15 kilonewton force is going to be 15 sine 30, and that is going to be added to my vertical component of my F2 force, which is going to be F2, F2 sine 60. If you write that in a different order, that's totally fine, as long as you get your pluses and minuses the right way. An additional thing here that I think can be helpful is to write out the your sine terms as fractions. I tried to teach this to some of my students. Some of them loved it, some of them hated it. So I'm just going to show you this for simplicity, but it may work for you, it may not, you decide. So I would rewrite this as f1 is going to be times sine 45, and sine 45 is 1 over root 2. So f1 over root 2 is equal to, sine 30 is a half, so that's going to be 15 over 2. And that is going to be added to f2 times sine 60, and sine 60 is root 3 over 2, so root 3 f2 over 2. I think that's helpful if I have to simplify it, but a lot of people won't find that so. Whatever way is best for you, write that. You certainly don't need that green to get the marks. I just think that it can be helpful. I tried to teach some of my students this and they were very frustrated by it, so that's why I've written it in a different colour. If it's not helpful for you, don't do that. Just leave it in the black, and the black would get you the marks that you need. Now when we come down to part double I, we're asked for the equation in its simplest form for the horizontal forces. Now those were the blue lines I was talking about here. I'm just going to zoom out so that we can see it as we do it. And we'll say that our sum of horizontal forces is equal to 0, and that means that the sum of forces that are going to the left have to be equal to the sum of forces going to the right. And so in this case, sum of forces going to the left is going to be 15 cos 30, and that is going to be equal to f1 cos 45 added to f2 cos 60. And so you can see there that if you understand your SOHCAHTOA, and if you understand how to break these forces at angles into their component vertical and horizontal parts, these questions become very simple. So that's 2 marks there. And what's helpful is these parts of the questions are guiding you to the next part.